Hi, and welcome to Puck Radio. Bonjour et bienvenue sur les ondes de Puck Radio. The only place to listen to expert sledge hockey commentary, learn about the athletes, the sport, and rules of the game. All this while you're watching the game at UBC Thunderbird Arena. La Puck Radio est le seul endroit pour écouter nos experts commenter le hockey sur luge. Apprenez-en davantage sur les athlètes, la discipline et les règles du jeu pendant que vous regardez la rencontre au UBC Thunderbird Arena. Stay tuned for the live coverage of this sledge hockey game at the Vancouver 2010 Paralympic Winter Games. Rob Snoke, Rick Middleton, and Louis-Simon Lapointe will be with you shortly. Restez bien branchés pour la couverture en direct de cette rencontre de hockey sur luge aux Jeux paralympiques d'hiver de 2010 à Vancouver. Rob Snoke, Rick Middleton et Louis-Simon Lapointe seront avec vous dans quelques instants.
Welcome to Puck Radio. Bienvenue sur la Puck Radio. Mon nom est Louis-Simon Lapointe. My name is Louis-Simon Lapointe and I'm working alongside Rob Snook and Rick Middleton. We're live from the press box at UBC Thunderbird Arena for the Vancouver 2010 Paralympic Winter Games. We're getting ready for game number 8 of the sledge hockey Paralympic tournament. In a few moments, Team Japan will face Team Korea. Alors bonjour, mon nom est Louis-Simon Lapointe en compagnie de Rob Snook et de Rick Middleton. Nous sommes à quelques instants de ce match numéro 8 de ce tournoi paralympique de hockey luge. S'amorcera dans quelques instants cette rencontre entre l'équipe du Japon et l'équipe de la Corée. And now, I'm joined by my two colleagues, Rob Snook and Rick Middleton.
Thanks, Louis, and it is great to be back with you for our 8th game in 2 days, our 4th game already today. There's lots of energy in the building. We thought a half an hour or so ago, we weren't sure how big the crowd was going to get, but they've filled in nicely, and a huge section of Japanese fans in the building and Korean fans in the building, and we'll see who makes the most noise. My name is Rob Snook, and just a real pleasure to be involved in the Paralympic Sledge Hockey Tournament. These are the 3rd Paralympic Games in terms of winter that I've had a chance to observe, and the 8th altogether as far as either being an athlete or being a broadcaster. It's just a great honor to do this, and joined by Rick Middleton, and the name you will remember, and I'll let Rick just give us a few memories about your life in sport, Rick.
My life in sport, let's see. Well, I played in the NHL for about 15 years, from 1973 to 88 with the New York Rangers and Boston Bruins. But it wasn't until 2002, actually 2001, that I got introduced to sled hockey in the United States. And fortunately, I was asked to become head coach of the 2002 national team. We went into Salt Lake City for the Paralympics as the last seed, the number 6 seed. And we pulled it out. We won the gold medal in 2002. And I'll tell you, my life hasn't been the same since. I'm not coaching anymore at the Paralympic level. I've been involved at the club level. And because of that involvement, I believe I got invited back here to be your co-host with Louis also. We've had a lot of fun. We make a great team, I think. And we're rolling into our 8th game today. So I'm thrilled. And I'm excited about this game because these two teams are very closely matched.
And of course, it's also a great pleasure to join you also for this beautiful game tonight. Game number 8, already 2 big days we've had here at the UBC Thunderbird Arena. My name is Louis-Simon Lapointe. If you believe it sounds French, you're right. I'm from Quebec City, the beautiful city of Quebec City. I'm a sport radio and TV reporter there. Do football, junior hockey also. So we had a great day, and now why not? We've got this Asian affair between Japan and Korea, and here's the game.
And Louis, I thought it would be fun maybe later in the game if you can teach Rick and I maybe a French word or two that might be appropriate for these games. So you think about that, and we'll come back to you.
Don't worry about it, we'll do that. And once again, we invite everyone to text their questions to the 604-404-PUCK, 604-404-PUCK. We are looking forward to read your questions, anything about sledge hockey.
And we are underway. Japan is the team in white, Korea in blue. Korea with the early opportunity. The shot went wide of the Japanese net. They tip it in front. There's a chance, and it was fired wide by Byeong-Seok Cho. Korea again, the cross-ice pass. Cho will go after it, but it's Endo who almost gives it away, and then the Japanese goaltender realizes he's got to cover this one up.
A little surprising, Korea off the drop of the puck, really taking the play to Japan. I sort of thought Japan would come out strong like they did last night. They got excellent skating skills. They like to be aggressive, but Korea hasn't given them a chance to get out of their own end yet.
Mitsuru Nagase is in net for Japan, the 34-year-old whose club team is the Hokkaido Bears. And first minute of the first period. Here comes a chance for Japan. Yoshikawa is steered off to the side by Min Soo-han. They scramble for it in behind the Korean net. Korea lost its first game of the tournament 5-0 against Team USA. Japan squeaked out a 2-1 win over the Czech Republic, scoring in the late stages of the third period to do it. Min Soo-han for the Czechs sends it down the ice, and this will go for an icing. So a minute 26 gone by in the first period. And Louis, before we go too far, let's talk about the texting procedure.
Yes, of course. So for everyone who's listening to us here with your little green machines, the green radio here at the UBC Thunderbird Arena, you can text us your questions. You want to ask something about sledge hockey, or wondering anything. Our panel's here, Rob, Henrik, and myself, Louis. So we can ask our panel anything about sledge hockey. 604. This is the number, really easy. 604-404-PUCK.
And an opportunity for Japan. The shot was stopped by the Korean keeper, but he just couldn't handle it. And Hyuk-Jun Choi sent down the ice by Korea. Japan will go back for it, but it beat Sudo across that red line behind the net. And so another icing call against Korea.
You know, looking at this game and thinking about these two teams, who might have the advantage here. Although Japan is seeded 4th and Korea 8th, and Korea pretty new to Paralympic sledge hockey at this level. But I'll tell you, they don't look it at the start of this game.
Korean team coached by Young-Kyung Lee. His assistants are Young-Woo Ha and Jin-Hyun Ha. And they seem to have put together a good training procedure. They've got everyone in good shape. And you can even see now, Rick, the Korean player in the front of the net. He's got his head on a swivel, as we like to say in hockey. He's making sure no one's going to be loose and getting a puck. And now the puck is not loose. It's tied up, so we'll have a face-off.
That was a little strange. They weren't even against the board. Somebody must have had it under their sled. The referee decided, no more of this. I'm going to call this. We're going to have a face-off. Let the teams change. But Japan, as I said, the 4th seed would seem to have the favor here. We'll see if they can eventually take this game over from the new Korean team.
Takayuki Endo wears number 10 for Japan. He's getting back to his own zone to pick up the puck. And folks, look at him now, you'll get a good look because you're going to see him throughout the game. He is on the ice for 2/3 of the time minimum, usually more for his team, and he never slows down, it seems. But Korea is pressing the Japanese side right now, and Endo trying to get after the puck. There's a Korean player alone in front with a shot that went off the goal post, fired by Byeong-Seok Cho. And right back down the ice is Daisuke Uehara. And a great defensive play to stop it by Park. Sang-Hyeon Park for Korea. Uehara trying to feed it back into the middle for Kazuhiro Takahashi. Right back down the ice on the counterattack come Cho and Korea, and he's knocked against the boards by Endo. Cho still has it, walks out front, tries to jam it in. They battle for it at the side of the Japanese net. This game is still scoreless, but not for a lack of trying and energy. Here comes Japan. Daisuke Uehara pushed it too far ahead, and it was knocked away by Jong-Kyung Lee. Back come Korea to center. The long shot goes wide of the Japanese net. He didn't get across center. And it's an icing call. He's arguing, well, I couldn't see the red line because it's blocked. There is, it's a virtual red line, if you will, Rick.
I tell you, for being the last game of the day, there's a lot of energy in this building, and I can't tell who has more. There's flags waving, Japanese flags, Korean flags. It's not like they're separated. Some are right in the same row waving two different flags. I hope we don't have a brawl tonight.
Rob, Rick, I'm even wondering if anyone can hear us at the moment in the building.
I know.
So if someone can hear us, something with this big noise, just text us, little message here on the 604-404 puck, just for fun. So if you have also any questions about the sledge hockey tournament, you can ask anything to our panel on the 604-404-7825. Vous pouvez également envoyer vos questions via messagerie texte. Questionner notre panel ici, nos experts en hockey luge, au 604-404-PUCK puck.
And we're about to have a Korean power play. Mikio Annaka, the 38-year-old from the Tokyo Iceburns, is in the penalty box. He took an interference penalty on an offensive zone face-off. Rick, those are the kind that make the coaches crazy.
His nickname is Anchu, and he likes to ski, read, watch movies. And what else do you think he likes to do? Drink. That's what he put down on his bio.
Is this
an
your
honest guy?
Is this your bio?
An
Are you
honest
sure?
guy.
It's not your bio, right? Well, we've got a minute 42 remaining in the Japanese penalty against our lovable Mikio Annaka.
I had to give you that one. I thought that was cute.
Rob Rick. This atmosphere is awesome. That's what I just received, actually. So some people can hear us actually in the building.
Good.
That's good news, actually. That's a great news.
At every stoppage of play, you got the music playing, you got the whole crowd yelling, waving flags. This is great.
And for anyone who might be watching on ParalympicSport.tv, glad to have you along for the ride as well. No score, early stages of the first period. Japan and Korea. Korea is on the power play. Sang-Hyeon Park. Tried to get something started. It's Japan being very physical. The puck squirts out front. It's knocked away by Noritaka Ito, and Korea reclaims it. Long pass to center, misses its intended target, Young-Min Lee, and it's an icing call against Korea. That's not the way you want to work a power play.
Well, Japan's going to be very aggressive on the penalty kill. They don't want to give these guys a chance to get started. As I said, with these teams, and especially Korea being in the 8th seed and being new to the Paralympic Games, their passing may not be as crisp as it should be. We'll see if they can connect on a few passes. They've looked good already down around the net. They've hit the tape with some good passes, but their breakouts leave a little to be desired. We'll see if they can get something going on the power play here.
And the face-off won by Japan. Endo's shot is blockered away by Hyuk-Jun Choi. Now Uehara scores! A rocket snapshot by Daisuke Uehara. A short-handed goal for Japan. They're in the lead, 1-0.
Wow, that's gotta hurt. Korea was pretty happy with the way that they were playing up to this point with the power play. Daisuke is getting the fans going, raising his sticks. Now he's coming over this side. I don't know how the Korean team is going to take that. That's kind of like rubbing it in your face, isn't it?
Daisuke Uehara, the 28-year-old from the Nagano Thunderbirds. And he's reveling in the moment.
He sure is. nicknamed King.
I've always been impressed, Rick, watching the Japanese practice and warm up. They just seem to be very precise, efficient. There's no space wasted. There's no time wasted. And I noticed in Torino, as watching them practice, I was making notes for my own minor hockey coaching. Just some great drills that they were doing. Hadn't seen anywhere else before.
Well, they have 5 players on their team that have been together since Nagano in '98. That's a great nucleus to build on.
Ito pushes the puck ahead. It goes down the ice. This will be another icing against Korea.
Like I was just saying, those breakout passes, they're missing them. They're icing the puck. The faceoff's coming back in their zone. And the last time that happened, it cost them a goal.
And we're set to face it off in the Korean end. Just want to draw your attention, if you're in the building, to center ice and the logo at center ice. I'm going to ask you some trivia questions about the logo in a minute and see if our co-host can remember the answers. We had them earlier in the tournament. Korea has the puck. Cho gets it ahead, and it gets to center. Slides in, but again, it might be an icing. It will. Jung just could not get on the end of the pass from Cho, and again, an icing call against Korea. Okay, so the big symbol at center, Rick, do you remember? With the blue and then the darker blue and then the green. What does that stand for? Do you remember?
Something about a mountain?
Yes. Man meets mountain.
Man meets mountain.
So that's one of the Paralympic symbols.
Listening.
There you go. And then the lower one, the 3 swirls, that's the Latin word for, it's agitos is the word.
Didn't I tell you last time I didn't take Latin in school?
No, I know. But it stands for I move, because I know somebody out there is listening and they're very curious about that. Here's another chance for Japan as they're buzzing all around the Korean net. Remember, they were still shorthanded. Now the Japanese penalty has ended. They may want to stay shorthanded. This has worked well for them. There's a shot, went high over top of the Korean net. And so the education process continues. I learned from Rick, and believe it or not, maybe he'll learn from me.
I've learned a lot from you already.
Yeah, what not to do, no doubt. Play in the Korean end. There's a shot. And again, it was Uehara who's really got his game going. He just walked out from the corner, got the shot. The save was made as the puck hit the goal mask of the Korean goaltender, and for safety purposes,
the
whistle goes.
Yep. Well, it's obvious now Korea is having a little trouble staying with Japan, and you can't turn away from them. As you see there, the 2 Korean players went to the left. Uehara came to the right. He was wide open to walk out. You just cannot do that. You turn away from the player. That's a big no-no.
Rob, Rick from the 604-404 puck. Some questions asking about the sledge hockey, the sport in Africa. Some people are wondering if there's sledge hockey in Africa.
I have no idea.
That's a good question, huh?
I wonder if our
Is
wonderful
there a rink
researcher
in Africa?
Talia might see if she can find out something, because I just don't know.
Never had that question before.
Nanhee Kim, Busan, South Korea. Hello.
There's a shot. They score right off the face-off. It was tipped in front by Mamoru Yoshikawa. And he wants the puck too. He goes to collect it. It's 2-0 Japan.
Well, off the face-off again. See, you just throw the puck at the net. You never know what can happen. And that was a nice tip in. Yoshikawa all by himself.
World class.
You might make an argument that he knocked it in with his glove, but it was so quick, I don't think he had time to do that on purpose.
And Rick, I think you've told me before that if it's happened so fast like that, it's almost like they let it go a little bit, because what could you do, really? How could you avoid it?
The glove is about half the size, a third of the size of the whole stick. So it's very hard for the referee to pick that up, unless it's done slow enough that he can pick it up and is definite that he did it on purpose.
Ishida shoots the puck in for Japan, and again the Japanese team in white forechecking hard. Comes to center ice where Ishida was marking his man Lee closely. It's shot right back in on net. Save made by Hyuk-Jun Choi.
Korea needs to regroup, get their energy level back up to where it was at the beginning of the game.
It's very interesting, isn't it, Rick, that Korea started this game so well, and then that first goal was scored, and all of a sudden it looks different. Both teams look different.
Well, they don't have the confidence, like a Norway does, that they get down a goal and it's early in the game, that they're confident. They've been around long enough that they know they have a lot of time to come back.
Here's a chance for Korea, and another shot that was chopped wide of the net. The first one, and the first player who received the pass just couldn't get a shot away. And now the pass to center. Takahashi couldn't get to it. Now Endo will. Here comes Endo racing in. Endo gets a shot. He scores. It's 3-0 Japan. And Takayuki Endo, the captain, is on the scoreboard.
They're grabbing every puck. What do you think that's all about?
I don't know. Maybe they've never scored three times in the first period
Is this
before.
possibly the first game Korea and Japan have played against each other?
I don't know.
Korea being in the B pool a lot of the time? Very possible.
You'd think that that would be a bigger deal, though, for Korea, and it is for Japan. We've got a timeout being called by the Korean team, and they're gathered around their coach, Young-Kyung Lee. He's trying to inspire them. They're trying to wave the goaltender in as well to be involved in this chat.
They might be changing goalies. Yeah, looks like the other goalie's getting his stick and his gloves.
And so Young-Hoon Chung, the 35-year-old from the Yonsei Eagles, will make his first appearance in the Vancouver Paralympic Winter Games.
You know what his nickname is? Nice guy.
Well,
better not be too nice.
You know where they finished?
3-0.
Yeah. Timeouts in sledge hockey a little longer, just because it takes players sometimes a little more time to move around. Instead of 30 seconds, 1 minute timeouts.
Well, Korea has to be stunned because they came out loaded for bear. They were very impressive. They've had 2 or 3 stellar scoring opportunities right in front. And it's either they shot wide, they hit the post, they hit Nagase, or the puck bounced, or one thing or the other happened, but they have not been able to put the puck in the net yet. But that doesn't mean they should give up trying, because they're working hard.
Louis?
Question about the sledge and maybe the buckets also. Are those custom paint jobs on some of the Korean buckets? That's the question here.
Well,
it looks like it.
Looks like it, huh? That's hard to tell from here, but
I know on the American buckets, a couple of them have the American flag, the stars
they're
and
beautiful.
stripes.
I think they all have the same, huh? Same painting job there.
Sometimes it's
A
not
few of them.
necessarily painted. What they can do is they can have some sort of artwork done, and then they actually laminate over top of that onto the bucket. Now, something they definitely do with the artificial legs to just make them a little bit more fun. Play is deep in the Korean end. Just over 6.5 minutes to go, first period. Japan only managed 2 goals yesterday, and it took them almost the entire 45 minutes to get them here. Not even 10 minutes in, they've got 3 already.
Japan knows if they win the game today, the game Tuesday against the USA is the huge one for them, because they can decide who finishes first in their pool.
Japan managed to beat Norway at a tournament just recently in Japan and landed in the silver medal position of that tournament behind the U.S. Maybe now a scoring chance developing here, but instead it'll be an icing call, as Sa just could not reach that one before it crossed the line.
These breakout passes aren't working for Korea. I think what they should do, and I'm thinking of going down and telling the coach, no, I'm just joking. They haven't used the bank shot yet. They've used a straight up shot, and because of that, the puck, when they miss with the puck, it goes over an ice. You bank the puck off the boards, the odds are it's taking a longer route to go from end to end. They're not going to ice the puck, and as the puck slows down, it gives the player that's racing towards it a better chance of getting it before it goes over for icing.
Well, they've got to try something different because what they've done the last 6 or 7 minutes clearly hasn't worked.
They're okay when they get into the Japan zone. They work it around good. They get some nice passes in front into the slot, but it's coming out of their own end. They're having all sorts of trouble, and on face-offs.
Probably the best player we've seen in the tournament so far at the bank shot was from Sweden. We saw a fair bit of that in the Sweden game. And there's a shot right from the blue line that was stopped, and a very careful save by the newcomer Young-Hoon Chung, who got an early test. Endo now will just fire it right back into the corner. Park for Korea, can't make anything happen to get it out. Takahashi, and his pass for Uehara almost resulted in another scoring chance. Korea just cannot clear it, and we've got a whistle down. I think a glove pass by Japan.
Well, this should give Japan all sorts of confidence, because what we talked about in past years and so far in this tournament is their inability to finish and score goals, and that just hasn't been the case this period with a 3-0 lead with still 5 minutes to go in the period.
Face-off just outside the Korean line. Endo scored his first goal of the tournament a few minutes ago. But now Lee will get a chance to clear it, and he passes it right up the middle, gets a second attempt, and then manages to get it down the ice. Ishida. Some good pressure now by Korea. There's a shot, went wide of the net. Fans are really getting into it. It's not the biggest crowd we've had, but per person, it might be the loudest. Endo chases after it. Maybe he's looking for a bank shot, but boy, he was on the wrong end of a big hit, but it's Endo who comes up with a puck. Sends it cross ice, trying to find Noritaka Ito. It's going to slide right in on net, where it's covered up by Chung.
Endo's an experienced player. He goes back to the 2002 Salt Lake Paralympic Games, played in Torino in 06, played in the World Championships in 04, 08, and 09. He's got plenty of experience back there as their leader. And he has a birthday coming up, 32 years old on Friday.
Mamoru Yoshikawa, one of the Japanese players who's been so good, number 13, 40 years old as well for him, and he's made his mark on the game with a goal and an assist. Sudo throws it towards the net, save made by the Korean netminder Chung, knocked off to the corner, and right back down the ice it goes. Sudo will head back for it for Japan. And a giveaway by Japan. Jang with a shot, rolling through the crease and knocked away by Sudo.
They're not going to let the Korean player out of there.
Penalty is coming, and it'll be against Japan. It's an interference call. Seems like it's the most common penalty in sledge hockey, interference, and it means that Korea goes to the power play.
Well, there's interference on purpose in sledge hockey, and there's interference not on purpose because of the sleds. Sometimes it's very hard to get out of the way. And you see here, lying in the crease, the puck's lying right there. Number 8, Sung-Keun Sa comes in, but a little too late to get that into the net. But he gets pinned in the net, and they wouldn't let him out.
So that means Ishida will sit in the penalty box for a little while. Koreans hope he'll sit there less than 2 minutes, because that means they'll have scored a goal. Park for Korea. Launches one towards the net. The good save made by Nagase. And was this offside? The
No, they're going to call it intentional.
Well, yeah, that's what the Japanese captain Endo was calling for, and I think he won that argument. Not the way you want to start your power play, Rick.
Well, this is an important power play for Korea. They really have to start doing something here with a 3-goal deficit, with time running out in the first period, and a good minute and 47 seconds left on the power play.
Face-off is being scrummed big time. Both players have it. The referee gets back in position to try to see where it is, and it's Park who'll knock it free for Cho. Sudo slams him against the sideboards, and there's another big collision. This will cause another penalty, and I think Noritaka Ito is going to get it. Elbowing is the call. 2-men advantage for Korea.
Well, talk about an opportunity. Here it is. Minute and 28, 5-on-3. Now the 5-on-3 is all about puck control. We'll see if Korea can attain that. It's funny, when they're in the offensive zone, they have pretty good puck control. They just have trouble in the other 2 zones.
Well, and unlike National Hockey League games where you would automatically, when you're on the power play, get a face-off in the offensive zone, here you've got to earn that right. And so Korea, led by Park, will try to get it across the line. There's no doubt that Endo would be on the ice for Japan. The only way he wouldn't be is if he was in the penalty box. And again, Japan does a marvelous job to get it down the ice. It rolls all the way down. Byeong-Seok Cho will try to get things started for Korea, the 24-year-old, one of many who plays for the sledge hockey team in Gangwon Province. Cho right into the Japan zone. Endo's going to try to, well, he'll try to waste as much time as he can. He's got 2 Korean players on him. Endo, no hurry. We've got a penalty coming here. Don't know who it's going to be against.
It's going to be against Korea for holding. He grabbed Endo.
I was guessing that, Rick, but I wasn't sure if what was going on the other side of the play, maybe Endo was a little involved in some grabbing too.
It just looked to me like they grabbed Endo and pulled him over. Reaching out behind him right there.
Boy, does Endo ever do a good job here?
Right there.
Protecting the puck.
Yeah.
You know what I often just marvel at, Rick, is how quickly you forget about disability and you just marvel at skill and knowledge of the game and grasp of what's a smart play, and Endo clearly has that. Here's a chance for Korea. The shot was stopped by Nagase.
He's made a couple of good stops tonight.
Lee now will try to jam it in. And then another chance. That went wide. Endo will try to clear it now for Japan. Korea gains control again. Cho. Endo bangs it around the boards. And again, he relieves the pressure. And that will do it for the first of the 2 penalties. And so it'll no longer be a power play. Now we've got 4-on-4 sledge hockey. With a minute 25 remaining in the first period in a 3-0 Japan lead. But this is an icing call against Japan.
Young-Min Lee didn't realize it was 4-on-4 and cleared the puck down the ice for an icing, bringing it back. 4-on-4 is all about man-on-man and speed, which you might think this might favor Japan. The previous play that the Korean player walked out of the corner all alone at a sharp angle at the net. We talked about being ambidextrous, the ability to shoot with right and left. If he could have slipped that over to his left hand, he would have had a shot on net, but he couldn't do it. He had no angle.
Young-Jae Cho took a shot. That went wide of the net. And Japan's going to get a chance to clear it. This might go for another icing. It will. Takes a while, but it did get across the line. And with 58.7 seconds left, 3-0 lead for Japan. We pass the microphone to Louis.
Yes, we have Barry here wondering on the 604-404 puck. What's the average range of the sledge hockey teams here in this tournament? I know some of the teams are pretty young, especially the American team, and we've got some more also who are pretty old. So do you have an idea maybe of the average?
Well,
I'm just glad they're not asking for the average age of the broadcasting crew.
on these two teams, I can give them to you right now. Korea's average age is 34.
Okay.
Japan's is 37. And I'll give you the rest of them
Later?
in the next stop. Yeah.
Perfect, no problem. That's for Mary.
Ito was upended by Lee, and a flurry here in the late stages by Japan. They scored 3 early in the first 7.5 minutes and change. And now they look as the clock has 30 seconds to go in the period. Japan continues to lead by 3 goals. Ito pushes it into the Korean end. Korea just trying to get something established. Right now they are actually shorthanded. And it's Japan relieving the pressure. Sa takes the pass, swings one across for Jung. He can't get a shot away, and the horn sounds. 15 minutes are done, and Japan has 3 goals. Uehara, Yoshikawa, and Endo all score for Japan. They are very much in the lead in this one.
Well, you know, it's a tale of, you know, the 2 periods, I think. Korea came out really fast in the first period. The first 5 minutes were all over them. Could have gone up at least 1-0 at that time. Weren't able to put the puck in the net. Then Japan kind of took the game over and got a quick goal. Seemed to deflate Korea's confidence. Got a second one not too long afterwards. Seemed to be sailing. And then they got into some penalty problems. And then Korea came back and has had some good scoring chances now. But Korea having trouble putting that biscuit in the basket. Right, Louis?
Absolutely. Now let's have a look at what happened here in this first period here at UBC Thunderbird Arena. Alors voyons, regardons ensemble le résumé de cette première période ici au UBC Thunderbird Arena de Vancouver. Match affrontement tout asiatique, une affaire d'Asie aujourd'hui dans cette rencontre en ce dimanche soir. Le Japon qui affrontait l'équipe de la Corée et le premier but du match a été l'œuvre de l'équipe japonaise. Daisuke Uehara avec son premier filet jusqu'à maintenant dans le tournoi à 4 minutes 46. Endo et Sudo également ont récolté les aides sur la séquence. Le deuxième filet du match également appartient à l'équipe du Japon. Mamoru Yoshikawa a marqué le premier but également de son tournoi. Les aides vont aux fiches de Takahashi et de Ishida. Le pointage était alors 2-0 pour l'équipe du Japon. Un troisième but, ces Japonais ajouteront avant la fin de la première période. Takayuki Endo est l'auteur de ce troisième but. Il s'agit pour lui de son deuxième filet depuis le début du tournoi. Yoshikawa ainsi que Uehara ont récolté les aides sur la séquence. 3-0 Japon après les 15 premières minutes de jeu. So the 3 scorers for the Japanese team in this first period: Daisuke Uehara, his first of the tournament, and then after we had Mamoru Yoshikawa, his first also of the tournament, and for his second of the tournament, making the score at 3-0 for Japan, Takayuki Endo. After the first 15 minutes of this game, it's 9-5 on the shots board for Japan. Alors après les 15 premières minutes de jeu, c'est présentement 9-5 au chapitre des tirs pour l'équipe japonaise. On the goal score, 3-0 for Japan. Il y avait également 3 autres matchs qui ont été présentés ici au UBC Thunderbird Arena un peu plus tôt. Il y a quelques instants avant le match ici de 20h30 à 17h ce soir, l'équipe des États-Unis qui affrontait l'équipe de la République tchèque. Et les Américains ont été convaincants dans ce match. Allons voir de quelle manière ça s'est présenté pour les États-Unis. D'ailleurs, ils ont été les premiers à s'inscrire au pointage. Taylor Lipset a ouvert la marque à 7 minutes 53 de la première période. Andy Salamone et Taylor Chase ont récolté les aides sur la séquence. Donc, après une période, c'était 1-0 États-Unis. En deuxième, à la 27e minute du match, Alexei Salamone inscrit le filet. 2-0 États-Unis, un but sans aide. Après les 2 premières minutes, les tirs au but étaient 15-4 à l'avantage des Américains. Dès la troisième période, à la 33e minute, Jamie Connolly inscrit son premier filet du présent tournoi. Des aides aux fiches de Yohei et de Howard, 3-0 États-Unis. Et ce sera finalement la marque finale. Ils ont été convaincants, ces Américains, tirant 23 fois contre le gardien adverse, 6 fois seulement pour l'équipe de la République tchèque. The Czechs were facing USA earlier tonight at 5 p.m. here at UBC Thunderbird Arena. 3-0, that was the final score for USA. Taylor Lipset, Alexei Salamone and Jimmy Conley were the goal scorers for USA. Et également, revenons sur ce match entre l'équipe du Canada et l'équipe de la Suède un peu plus tôt aujourd'hui, toujours ici au UBC Thunderbird Arena. L'équipe du Canada qui a ouvert la marque tôt dans le match à 1 minute 25 secondes du début de la rencontre. Brad Bowden qui a inscrit son premier du présent tournoi. Todd Nicholson qui récolte l'aide sur la séquence. C'était alors 1-0 pour le Canada. 13 secondes plus tard, à 1:38 au tableau, Niklas Ingvarsson, son premier, il inscrit dans ce tournoi. L'égalité était créée 1-1. Mais quelques instants plus tard, 5 minutes plus tard, Glenn Westlake réplique avec son troisième filet de la saison, mais surtout de ce tournoi. Troisième filet pour ce numéro 12 et le pointage était de 2-1 pour le Canada. Et par la suite, ce fut l'hécatombe pour l'équipe de la Suède. Le Canada marqué sans aucune riposte. Avant la fin du premier tiers de la rencontre, c'était 3-1 Canada avec le premier filet du tournoi de Adam Dixon. Et quelques instants plus tard, avant de retraiter au vestiaire, Brad Bowden inscrit son deuxième filet du match. 4-1 Canada. 14-1 au niveau des tirs au but après la première période. L'hécatombe s'est poursuivi en deuxième. Glenn Westlake inscrit le filet, son deuxième du match. Dixon et Bridges récoltent les aides, 5-1 Canada. Adam Dixon inscrit le filet également, 6-1 Canada. Et Glenn Westlake complète son tour du chapeau avec son cinquième du présent tournoi, à la 25e minute du match, un but sans aide, 7-1 pour le Canada. Quelques instants plus tard, Marc Dorion inscrit le premier de 3 buts également. 3 buts sans riposte dans son cas. Il inscrit son deuxième filet du tournoi pour le numéro 7, 8-1 Canada. Et après les deux premières périodes de jeu, le Canada qui menait 23-1 au chapitre des tirs au but. En troisième période, Marc Dorion récidive, son troisième du tournoi et son deuxième du match. Pour le numéro 7, 9-1, Todd Nicholson récolte l'aide. Et ce dernier, Marc Dorion, qui complète son tour du chapeau avant de régler le match. Quatrième filet pour lui depuis le début du tournoi. 10-1, marque finale pour le Canada. Au chapitre des tirs au but, 32-3, le Canada a largement, très largement, incroyablement largement dominé ses adversaires. Earlier today here at UBC Thunderbird Arena, Canada was facing Sweden. The first goal of the game was scored by Brad Bowden at 1 minute 25 seconds in the first minutes of the game. A few seconds later, 13 seconds later, Niklas Ingvarsson from Sweden tied the game with his first goal of the tournament, 1-1 Sweden. Glenn Westlake put Canada in the league with his third of the tournament, 2-1 Canada. Then after, here we go. Adam Dixon, Brad Bowden, Glenn Westlake, Adam Dixon again, Glenn Westlake again with his hat trick, Marc Dorion, and Marc Dorion also for his hat trick. All those names scored goals also for Canada, who won this game against Sweden, 10-1 final score. At the end of the game, after those 45 minutes of play, 32, that's the number of shots for Canada, and 3, that's the number of shots for Team Sweden. Également, revenons sur le match un peu plus tôt aujourd'hui, ici au UBC Thunderbird Arena. L'équipe Italie qui affrontait l'équipe de la Norvège, classée numéro 2 en levée de rideau de ce tournoi. Mais la première équipe à inscrire au pointage, c'est l'équipe Italie. Werner Winkler qui inscrit son équipe au tableau à la 8e minute de la première période. Florian Pranker qui récolte l'aide sur la séquence, 1-0 Italie. Pas de but en deuxième période du fait qu'on se dirige en troisième alors que l'Italie est toujours en avance sur l'équipe classée numéro 2 dans ce tournoi. Mais voilà, les Norvégiens se sont finalement inscrits au pointage. Kjelvid Rune a inscrit son premier de 2 buts qui a ainsi égalisé la marque mais également donné les devants quelques instants plus tard à son équipe pour ne jamais regarder en arrière. Victoire de l'équipe de la Norvège, 2-1. Les tirs au but se terminent également à l'avantage de la Norvège, 19-10. The first goal of the day was presented here this morning at UBC Thunderbird Arena at 10 a.m. Italy was facing Norway, and Italy was the first team to put a number 1 on the board, with Werner Winkler puts Italy in the driving seat. No goals and no goal in the second period, so we have to go to the third period to see another goal, as Norway will tie the game with the first goal of the first of 2 goals for this game for Kijel Vid Ron. So 1-1, then 2-1 for Norway. Final score 2-1 Norway on the shot board. 19 shots for Norway and 10 finally for Italy. We will also be broadcasting games on Tuesday. Here tomorrow, Monday, it's off here at the UBC Thunderbird Arena in this tournament, in the sledge hockey tournament. So most of the teams will also take the ice to get a practice and to get ready for their game number 3. Let's have a look at the schedule for Tuesday's games here at UBC. The first game of the day will be at 10 o'clock as Czech Republic will face Korea. At 1:30 p.m., Team Italy will face Sweden. At 5 p.m., Team USA will face Japan. And at 8:30 p.m. on Tuesday, big game, Team Canada will be back on the ice facing Team Norway. De gros matchs également qui sont prévus au calendrier à l'horaire pour la journée de mardi, alors que demain lundi, ce sera congé ici au UBC Thunderbird Arena. L'équipe de la République tchèque va affronter l'équipe de la Corée. Les États-Unis vont affronter l'équipe du Japon. La Suède qui va affronter l'équipe de l'Italie. Et le Canada qui reviendra sur la glace à 20h30 ce mardi face à l'équipe de la Norvège. Then after the next games here at UBC Thunderbird Arena, we have to go to, yes, Tuesday, but also Wednesday. 2 games will be here. Classifications games number 13 and 14. One at 12 o'clock and the other one at 7 p.m. So we will be also broadcasting all those games here at the UBC Thunderbird Arena on Puck Radio. We always want to say hello also to the people who are watching us and who can hear our voices, our beautiful, I guess, voices here from the Puck Radio crew on the Paralympic Sport.tv. Quickly before going back to my colleagues, I want to congratulate our first medals for the Canadian team for those Paralympic Games here in Vancouver. After this day number 3 here, the Russian Federation is leading in the medal count with 10 medals, 4 golds. Ukraine is second with 6 medals. Austria is third. And who's fourth? Yes, Canada with 3 silver medals today, Sunday, March 14th. So we got a medal. The first medal for Canada in those Paralympic Games here in Vancouver was given by Colette Bourgogne. Silver in women's sitting, 10 kilometers cross-country skiing. Miss Bourgogne is a 48 years old teacher who began skiing in 1991. The second medal came from Viviane Forêt. Viviane Forêt est une Québécoise. Elle a remporté une médaille d'argent en slalom féminin pour personnes aveugles. In a few moments later, we had this third silver medal, still in Whistler. Josh Duke, silver in men's sitting slalom. We also had a good performance also from Chris Williamson, who finished 6th in the men's visually impaired slalom. Il y aura également beaucoup d'actions aussi demain que nous surveillerons et que vous surveilleriez sans aucun doute ici un peu partout à travers les Jeux paralympiques de 2010 de Vancouver, notamment du curling en fauteuil roulant demain. Beaucoup d'actions qui seront prévues au Centre paralympique de Vancouver. Nous suivrons également le ski alpin, également du ski de fond demain. Le 20 km homme libre debout sera présenté à 10h. Il y aura également le 20 km libre pour personnes aveugles. J'ajoute également en ski de fond le 15 km libre debout également. Donc, tous ces sports seront en action demain. A few words also about wheelchair curling. This earlier today, Team Canada was facing Norway and Canada won 6-5. Italy won 13-4 against Switzerland. USA won 6-5 against Germany, and Team Korea won 7-5 over Team Japan. And the same two countries here are back on the ice at the UBC Thunderbird Arena. And here are Rick and Rob.
Thanks very much, Louis, and thanks for all your hard work through the intermissions. And it's been a good 8 games, guys. We're almost through the 8th game in 2 days. It's been a lot of fun. We've seen every team twice now. We've seen Japan squeak out a win yesterday against the Czech Republic, but here a much more dominating effort so far. And let's see if Korea has any response, Rick. They're trailing 3-0.
Well, you know, I don't often like to blame goalies, but looking at the replays of the goals, Hyuk-Jun Choi, I think on 2 of those, the high shot that went over his head, he should have had that one. I believe of the first goal, Uehara. The second one, Yoshikawa, was the deflection in front. He was all alone. It's really nothing he could do about that one. But Endo's shot in particular, I was watching the replay, I didn't notice. He was out of position. He wasn't out on the angle. He was kind of back in his net. And Endo being chased by the defenseman, having to rush the shot. If he had been a little more aggressive on that, had a better angle on him, Endo should not have scored on that shot. So it should be, to me, a 1-0 game, not a 3-0 game. But Korea still has a shot, but they got to get that next goal. And if they do get a power play, they have to take advantage of it.
Korea changed goalies partway through the first period. Not happy with the effort of Hyuk-Jun Choi. And so Young-Hoon Chung has been in net ever since.
We were talking about goalie sledge earlier. If you look at Young-Hoon Chung's goalie sled with the cover that he has on his legs and he sits cross-legged, that's something you don't see too often.
I was talking with Steve Cash about, what are the different advantages to being a bigger goalie or a smaller goalie, and he said, well, it's just a matter of what you do with what you have. It seems like it makes a good sense. The American goaltender is one of the best, even though he's still a very young man, early 20s. Japan with some early pressure here on Korea. They're already up by a goal and up by 3 goals in the first minute of the second period, pressing. Endo overskated that. Ishida. Now make sure he gets to center and dumps it back across the Korean line. Ishida will just shoot it right back in again. It squirts right back in front of the Korean net as Cho was run into. He ices the puck as the whistle sounds. 13:29 to go, second period. Louis?
Yes, of course, once again in this second period, we want to invite everyone who's listening to us at the moment in the Thunderbird UBC Arena, so you can text your questions to our panel here. Ask us anything about sledge hockey. There's Rick, Rob, and myself, Louis. Easy, the phone number, you can text us your questions on the 604-404-PUCK, P-U-C-K. Vous pouvez nous envoyer vos questions ici au 604-404-7825. Ce sont les chiffres également pour nos experts ici en hockey luge.
Another shot from the blue line. That was steered aside. One of the things I noticed, Rick, watching those first period highlights is how many scoring chances there were. You don't often see that in a sledge hockey game. Sometimes you'll go a period with maybe 1 or 2 scoring chances. There must have been half a dozen easily in the first
for both
period.
teams, and Korea had some pretty good ones themselves.
They certainly did. And the goaltender, Mitsuru Nagase, was very good in the Japanese net.
We're talking about the difference in goalies and being big or small. I think one of the biggest changes in the NHL goaltenders is the size of the goalies. It just makes sense. They take up more of the net, and with the equipment today, there's hardly anything to look at.
And yet, arguably, the best goaltender in the world over the last decade in able-bodied hockey is Martin Brodeur, and he's not a big man. He doesn't use a lot of equipment. There's a shot on the Korean net, save made by Chung. He'll hold on.
Well, to continue that same thought, the goalies of yesteryear weren't big at all. You had the Cat, Neil Francis. You had Eddie Jockman, Glenn Hall, Johnny Bauer, Roger Crozier. You had all these great goalies that probably were no more than 5'8", 5'10". So you had to rely on your reflexes. That's how Neil Francis got his nickname, the Cat, from his reflexes. And if you can combine a big man with good reflexes, then you really got something.
See, when Louis was thinking yesteryear, he was thinking Patrick Roy.
If I ask you, are you more Martin brother or more Patrick Roy? This is a big question, actually, yeah?
Well,
we can have a long debate, long discussions
I'm
about
more
this.
Johnny Bauer.
Well, I was just thinking, he thinks Patrick Roy is yesteryear. I think Mike Palmatier, and Rick takes us back to Emile Francis.
Yeah.
Wow. We've got it all covered, all the bases, no matter how young or slightly less young our listeners are. 2:45 into the second period here. Japan has already scored 3 times, and it all came in the first period. Might not be pressing quite so hard here in the second as Korea sends the puck ahead. So Hara getting a stick on it, but we've got a penalty coming. It's a teeing call. It's against Japan, rather.
Good.
And waiting to see who it is, and it is Eiji Misawa.
That is, to me, a bad call, because I was just wondering why. I believe it was Young-Min Lee, number 23 for Korea, was going behind the net with the puck and turned right before the net to come out and basically ran into, who got the penalty, Misawa?
Yep.
Ran into Misawa himself. Where was Misawa supposed to go? that was a very strange play.
Oh, by the way, the referee in today's game is Jonathan Morrison from the U.S., the linesman Thomas Heltman from Poland, and Brad Roethlisberger, also from the U.S. Last time Japan had a penalty, if I'm not mistaken, Rick, they had more scoring chances than Korea did, so we'll wait and see what develops here. Here comes Endo, the speedster. He's got one man to beat. He's got one with him. He makes the pass across. Does the return feed come from Takahashi? No. And it's taken over by Sang-Hyeon Park.
We've seen that a lot today with Canada. They also, against Sweden, scored on a 5-on-3 when they were only the 3.
Not very often do you see that in any form of hockey. Endo gets the puck to center. The fans definitely having fun. The Korean fans trying to inspire their team on to greatness. They're down by 3 goals, but they had at least 2 or 3 real high-quality scoring chances in the first period. Not much in that way in this period, but here maybe is something developing. Lee just can't get to it, and it'll be sent down the ice again by Japan. They've killed off the first minute and 15 seconds of the penalty against Misawa. Another penalty coming. This will be interference against Korea, and it'll be 4-on-4 for 40 seconds, and then, Louis, it will be a power play for Japan.
And my French words.
Yes, we got
I
it.
was thinking about this, yeah.
We're ready. We're going to have a little French lesson here.
Now?
Yes, this
Why
is
not?
good.
Why not? Okay, maybe the next time you announce a goal. We have a goal for the next time, okay? You'll have to try this one. And he scores et le but. You know that? Have you heard this before?
Oh, sure.
Et le but.
Et le but. And I have to say who scored it?
Et le but.
Lafleur.
Lafleur. You know, yeah.
There's no Lafleurs out there.
Robinson.
Robinson. Martin brother. Oh, no.
Et le but.
Et le but.
Yep. Et le but. With a great voice, you know?
Well, that part might be the hard part, but we'll do our best. Here's a chance for Japan. They tried to work it in front for Ito. It was taken away and out to center ice. Racing after it is Cho, but he just can't get on the end of the pass. And his counterpart, number 10 on the Japanese team, Endo, is just too fast. There are very few in this sledge hockey community who could keep up with Endo, and now Japan will have a power play and racing out of the box as the shot came from the blue line by Jung, and it was stopped, and we've got yet another penalty in this one, and again it's an interference call. Boy, there's a lot of emotion in this game between Korea and Japan.
I said it might be the first time, we're looking it up, that they played each other, but with this emotion in it, it doesn't look like it. It looks like they played each other many times,
and that's
they
funny.
don't like each other.
That's funny. I just received actually a question about this. Which of all the teams is the most aggressive in terms of body checking?
The team that wears red that we saw earlier today.
Oh, yeah.
Not much question about it. Team Canada.
I agree. Team Canada is probably the most aggressive. That's why they beat Norway on a regular basis. Not that Norway shies away from it.
Yes.
It's just not their first instinct.
No, it's not their first instinct, and they really don't retaliate. They're very disciplined. But I think it just gets them off their game enough that Canada gets that little advantage on them.
Here's a chance for Jung. Across the pass comes, and I don't know if he had that to do over, he would do it again. He had a great scoring chance, and Lee was there maybe with a better chance. The puck bounces in on net, and the Koreans buzzing all around. They think the puck is loose. And even back at the blue line, we have players tied up with each other. As there is definitely a lot more at stake here than just a round-robin game at the Paralympic Winter Games.
Did you have your et le but ready?
I like your accent, guys.
I'm sure
we
you
like
do.
yours.
We don't pick on you.
It's all about the accent here.
This is 4-on-4 hockey. 4-et-4.
4 contre 4.
4-4.
4 contre against, that's how we say it.
Okay. Say it again.
4 contre 4.
4, contre, 4.
Entre, contre.
Contre.
Excellent.
There we
4
go.
contre 4.
Et la boue.
Et le but.
Well, the referee, Jonathan Morrison, not liking the late request of the line change by Japan. This is a 4-on-4 situation for a few more seconds, and then Korea will have a power play, but right now Japan just trying to get it out. And it looks like they'll be successful with Ishida. And he manages to kind of stab the puck into the zone, where Lee is trying to get his team started some sort of forward progress. Now Cho for Korea. He is rubbed out on a good play, and a penalty coming here. Ito and Lee in behind the net. High sticking is the penalty. It's against Korea. If we get another penalty, Rick, we'll have 3-on-3. That's my favorite form of hockey, but we're not there yet.
You don't see that much in sledge hockey. Now, to me, that looks like both players going at it. Should have been a 2 minutes each.
Noritaka Ito was the one who initiated the hit.
But I've spent my life trying to figure out referees, and I still haven't.
Nope, and you're in the booth, and they're down there with the stripes. And the puck is dropped. Face-off claimed by Korea. They're on the power play. Sorry, they're not on the power play now. They were about to be. It is 4-on-4 again. And Japan already leading 3-0 with pressure. Daisuke Uehara. Stick handling, top of the face-off circle. His shot goes wide. After it is Ishida. Keeping it alive for now, but pushed out to center by Korea. The cross-ice pass finds Lee. He dodges the hit. Pushed forward by Jung. Taken away from him by Endo. And Ishida now for Japan will zing it around the boards. This will go down the ice. Will it roll far enough for icing? No, they wave it off, and Uehara gets to it first anyway. Daisuke Uehara still has it. Trying to dodge the checker. Lee couldn't do it. Endo for Japan. He's got a goal already. He's seeking more. Here he comes. Endo's shot was blocked. And another collision in front. The face-off will be in the Korean end. Boy, great emotion and great action. It's 3-0, Rick, but this is a good game.
They're playing this like it's 1-1 tie late in the game. They're just going at each other. They don't care about the penalties. They'll kill the penalties off. They're just not going to get knocked over. One isn't going to be more physical than the other team. They're going to retaliate. I'm not sure if it's the smartest thing for Korea right now, being down 3 goals, but their pride's on the line.
Well, they're standing up to the challenge that's being presented to them by their Asian neighbors, and it's a fun showcase of sledge hockey for us, the observers. Kazuhiro Takahashi for Japan, trying to work the puck free in behind the net. Passes out front. Uehara with a shot. He just didn't get anything on it, and it was smothered by Chung.
You know, the best hockey comes with emotion, and it comes with rivalry. And I can't wait to see if they have played before. I'm not sure if we have that stat yet. But maybe somewhere in their history on the ice, not politically or whatever, because I'm not really aware of that, but on the ice, if there has been some bad blood before.
Right off the face-off, Korea gets a hold of the puck, and they'll send it to the line, but not out. Under 7 minutes to play, second period. Mad scramble for it along the boards. Referee Morrison hesitates to blow his whistle. He won't do it. The puck, he can still see it, no doubt. And he's encouraging the players to move it. Now gets a new position on it. Boy, it's just a scrum. It looks like rugby. And finally, Cho sends it out to center, but the faster Japanese team getting to it. And Ishida will push it out to center ice, but it's a battle, and it just every possession is a fight. Fired in by Young-Jae Cho, one of the younger players on the Korean team. He's 25 years old, and we've got yet another penalty coming. This one is also for interference, and it'll go against Japan.
You know, we were talking about the benefit of having your legs or being a amputee. If you look at the Korean team, almost all their players have at least one leg, a lot of them two. And they're very good players, very good skaters.
They certainly are. Seems to have that seems to be one part of their program that's developed quickly. But you know what? We just watched the Olympics. The Koreans are dynamite skaters in short track and in long track. They had a strong Olympics, so that's they're comfortable on ice, and they're turning that into sledge hockey as well.
We were talking about this earlier, and I received another question about this, and I also want to ask you this one. Do any of the sledge hockey players have rituals, unusual rituals maybe, before the game to bring the good luck? Have you ever seen something similar to this? Maybe Rick?
I've only been around it the 1 year. You played more sledge hockey than I, but you know, we were talking about that earlier. It's you know, maybe getting dressed the same way, or normally they have a ritual, a routine more than a ritual. I know some able-bodied hockey players that were kind of cuckoo. I won't get into it now because we don't have time.
No, I'd like to hear at least one of these stories.
Well, we had a goalie by the name of Marco Barron, played for the Bruins for a short time, and he couldn't touch doorknobs on game days. And if he didn't grab the doorknob the right way, he would not go through the door. I seen him stand there for 10 minutes. I said it was a good thing they didn't have doorknobs on the doors leading to the rink, because the goalie's the first guy out. We never would have got out there.
As a player, were you...
Let's jump in here. There's a chance for Korea. Lee racing in. He's got a pass back to make, and he makes it, but the shot never comes. Maybe it will now. Korea all around the Japanese net, but just unable to get a shot. Seung-Hwan Jung in behind. He can't make anything happen. They'll try to keep it in at the blue line. It is kept in momentarily, and now it's knocked out by Japan. Lee pushes it back across the blue line. Jung trying to work it forward. He is just knocked right off the puck by Takahashi. Slammed around the boards, kept in by Korea. Worked it out front. Here's a chance, but they can't get a shot away.
Couldn't get the handle on it, as they say.
Now, and maybe that's an even more apt description in sledge hockey. Jung now for Korea. Tried to push it in to the slot area. No shot there. Now Lee might get one. He snaps it. It went off the arm of Ito. Pressure by Korea with just over 4 minutes to go in the second period, looking to get on the score sheet as Japan's penalty ends and the Korean power play is over.
I'm impressed with Korea's work ethic and how they control the puck there. They're just not, how would I put it? They're just not polished enough to really get that quick little pass, open up the lane, and get a clear shot on net.
Nice steal, though, by Jung as he pushes across the line and then is absolutely clobbered by Ishida. Well, finish that thought again that you guys interrupted. Sorry, Louis.
That was interesting, actually. As a player, Rick, or maybe as a coach, when you were with the USA team, did you have any rituals also to bring the luck to you?
Well, there was one incident where the wife of my assistant coach almost washed my socks because once we started winning, you don't mess with a streak, and I would actually wear the same clothes for the week, and it's only a week. It's not like the whole year or anything. But she almost washed my socks, and I think it would have cost us the gold medal if she had them.
Well, thankfully, for the sake of your socks and the good old United States of America, they didn't wash them because you won the gold medal.
Well, I sent them to the Sledge Hockey Hall of Fame, but they didn't want them.
Please tell me you're not wearing them today. That's all I want to know. Here come the Japanese to center ice, led by Daisuke Uehara. He'll throw it into the middle. Takahashi slides it in, and he scores, but they're going to wave it off. The puck found its way in. Referee Morrison must have blown his whistle first because he washes the goal out and says no goal. Will they go upstairs? I don't know.
Well, I just got the stat. It doesn't look like Japan and Korea have ever played against each other in any IPC tournament, with Korea being so new to this level of play.
Both being from that part of the world, you just think that they would have played in some sort of zone or regional qualifier or something. I'd just be shocked if they hadn't met, or even in an exhibition at one point. But
well, some of these players may have. Maybe there's some hostility between them at the club level, but we wouldn't be able to get that stat.
There certainly is some hostility now if there wasn't before. Japan coming in as the higher ranked team. Referee Morrison doing his best to dodge out of the way of the net. He looked like Edwin Moses for a second there as he was hurtling over. And Daisuke Uehara, who scored a big goal earlier in the game for Takahashi, but reclaimed by Korea. Min Soo-han. And another chance for Korea as they approach the net. Sung-Keun Sa. But they can approach the net, Rick, all they want. They just don't seem to be getting that real chance that's going to get them a goal, get them on the score sheet.
The finishing touch.
Back they come again. Han knocked away from him. Japan bends, but they don't break.
Number 44 just got blindsided earlier. Hae-Man Lee, reminiscent of the Savard hit, although not as the final tally wasn't a concussion, but he was looking the other way and he did get blindsided.
Just in case people aren't familiar, talking about Mark Savard, and he was hit last week by Pittsburgh Penguin Matt Cook. Of course, being a Bruin, you keep close eye on that. And being a former Oshawa General, Mark Savard, I keep a close eye too.
Right.
But anytime there's a player injured in any level of sport, there's concern and there's eyebrows raised and there's alarm bells that go off. We had an injury here in this tournament. One of the Swedish players, Jans Kasku, had a great start to his tournament. He was unable to play in his team's second game today, and it really hurt them. After taking Norway to a tie through regulation, Sweden was just swamped by Canada earlier today. Here come the Japanese, and a chance for Ishizawa. Couldn't get it through to the net. Annaka couldn't reach it, and Korea pokes it back to center. We're down to the final half minute of the second period, with Japan leading 3-0, all the goals in the first period. Pushing forward, Japan to the line and past the Japanese blue line, right on net. The goaltender trying to cover it, he does, Mitsuru Nagase.
Speaking of Kask, we found out that his broken finger apparently is broken in 3 places, so I don't think we're going to see him come back, even if they put a splint on it in 3 different places, and possibly screws also.
Ouch.
The odds are he won't be back in this tournament, unfortunately.
It's a shame because we had a lot of fun watching him yesterday.
I never really appreciated it, what good a player he was until I saw him from up here.
9.9 seconds to go in the second period. Japan winning the face-off, plunking it out to center right off the glass, and Endo trying to get on the end of the puck, and he couldn't do it that time. It's the final buzzer for the horn for the second period. After 30 minutes, Japan continues to lead Korea 3-0. Boy, Rick, that was one entertaining period of sledge hockey.
It really was. It had a little bit of everything. Good scoring chances, good goaltending, very physical hockey, retaliation at some points, and it just seems that I like hockey when the 2 teams don't like each other. It really makes it more interesting, and it certainly looks like they don't like each other, and they're not letting up. It's not like Korea is just saying, well, we need to come back and we're not going to be physical. They're going as hard at Japan as Japan's going at them.
I like hockey when they don't like each other, but I like hockey broadcasters when they do. And Louis, we like you, and we're going to pass the microphone to you now.
You're so great. Thank you, Rob. I appreciate it. That's very nice. Now let's be back on this second period here at the UBC Thunderbird Arena. Let's have a look at what happened, yes, in the second period, but also in the first period. Alors, duel aujourd'hui ce soir entre l'équipe du Japon et l'équipe de la Corée. Et la première équipe à s'être inscrite au pointage ce soir en première période, ce fut l'équipe du Japon avec Daisuke Uehara avec son premier filet du présent tournoi à 4 minutes 46 secondes. Takayuki Endo a récolté une passe sur la séquence pour le numéro 10. Même chose également pour Satoru Sudo. Un point également à sa fiche. 1-0 à ce moment pour l'équipe du Japon. On double l'avance à mi-chemin en première période. Mamoru Yoshikawa avec son premier du présent tournoi. C'était alors 2-0 pour le Japon. Kazuhiro Takahashi récolte une passe, de même que pour Naohiko Ishida. Par la suite, avant de retraiter au vestiaire pour la première période, Takayuki Endo récolte son deuxième point du match, son deuxième but du présent tournoi. Mamoru Yoshikawa ainsi que Daisuke Uehara également récolté des aides sur la séquence. Alors, après les 15 premières minutes de jeu, c'était alors 3-0 pour l'équipe du Japon. Et au chapitre des tirs au but, le Japon également a dominé 9 contre 5. Aucun filet n'a été marqué dans la deuxième période, mais quand même beaucoup d'animosité sur la glace ici au UBC Thunderbird Arena. Beaucoup d'ambiance également dans les gradins, des partisans autant de la Corée que du Japon et sur la glace également. Ça a chauffé, je vous dirais, en quelques occasions bien spectaculaires quand même. Quelques bonnes mises en échec, un bon match de hockey sur luge. Comme on les aime également, 15 contre 8. Ça, c'est le tableau des tirs au but jusqu'à maintenant. Après les deux premiers première période, soit les 30 premières minutes de ce match. Donc après les 2 premières périodes, au tableau des points et des buts, 3-0, équipe Japon. So yeah, we were talking about this first period here at UBC Thunderbird Arena. The first team to get a goal was Daisuke Uehara with his first goal of the tournament at the 4th minute of the first period. Endo and Sudo also got an assist on this one. Mamoru Yoshikawa got also the second goal of the game, his first of the tournament. Takayashi and Ishida got the assist on this one. So from the number 13, Yoshikawa 2-0 for Japan. And before going back to the dressing room, Takayuki Endo scores his second goal of the tournament, which makes the score at 3-0 for Japan. Yoshikawa and Uehara got the assist also. So after the first 15 minutes of this game, it was 3-0 for Japan. After the first period also, 9-5 the goals on shot. The shots on goals yet for Japan. Let's have a look also to the second period. It will be a little bit shorter, no goal in this second period, but lots of good moments actually on the ice here also in UBC Thunderbird Arena. A great feeling here, great ambience. All the Korean fans are here, also lots of Japanese fans also in the stands. Really spectacular and a great show here at UBC Thunderbird Arena. Revenons également sur le match qui a été présenté un peu plus tôt aujourd'hui. En fait, il y en a eu 3, mais une rencontre qui a débuté un peu plus tôt ce soir à 17h ici au UBC Thunderbird Arena. Rencontre entre l'équipe des États-Unis et l'équipe de la République tchèque. Taylor Lipset des États-Unis a été le premier à s'inscrire au pointage, son 3e du présent tournoi à 7 minutes 53 de la première période. Andy Salamone et Taylor Chase ont récolté les aides sur la séquence. Un seul but dans cette première période, soit après les 15 premières minutes de jeu, c'était 1-0 pour les États-Unis. Alexei Salamone également en a remis en deuxième période avec un filet sans aide à la 27e minute. C'était alors 2-0 pour les Américains. Et après la troisième période également, un autre but a été marqué. Jamie Connolly, son premier jusqu'à maintenant dans le tournoi. Yohei et Howard ont également récolté les passes sur la séquence. Marque finale 3-0 États-Unis. Au chapitre des tirs au but également, les Américains ont largement dominé 23 contre 6. I was talking about this game between Team USA and Team Czech Republic, presented here tonight at 5 p.m. Taylor Lipset with his third goal of the tournament. Alexei Salamone and Jimmy Connolly scored for USA, which made the score at 3-0 for USA. Final score here at UBC Thunderbird Arena. Shots on goal after those 3 periods, 23 for USA and 6 for Czech Republic. Regardons aussi rapidement ce match un peu plus tôt aujourd'hui entre l'équipe du Canada et l'équipe de la Suède. L'équipe du Canada avec Brad Bowden a ouvert la marque en première période à 1 minute 25 secondes du début de la rencontre. Todd Nicholson a récolté une passe sur la séquence. C'était alors 1-0 pour les Rouges. Quelques instants plus tard, l'équipe de la Suède, les Jaunes, qui répliquent 13 secondes plus tard à 1:38 en première période. C'était alors 1-1. L'égalité était créée dans le match. Par la suite, quelques instants plus tard, Glenn Westlake s'est inscrit à la marque avec son premier du match. Pour ce qui est de Glenn Westlake, il s'agissait également de son 3e de la saison. 2-1 Canada et par la suite, l'hécatombe pour l'équipe canadienne. Et dans l'ordre, ont marqué Adam Dixon, Brad Bowden, Glenn Westlake. Encore une fois, Adam Dixon, Glenn Westlake, Marc Dorion et Marc Dorion pour un tour du chapeau pour Dorion. Également, 3 buts qui ont été à l'affiche de Glenn Westlake. Bref, le Canada qui l'a emporté de manière très convaincante par la marque de 10-1 sur les Suédois. Au chapitre des tirs au but également dans ce match, le Canada a largement dominé 32-3. Yeah, big game also for Team Canada earlier today here at UBC Thunderbird Arena. They were facing Team Sweden. Canada scored first with Brad Bowden, first goal of the tournament at 1:25 in the first period. Todd Nicholson got the assist on this one, 1-0 Canada. 13 seconds later, Nicholas Ingvarsson tied the game 1-1. But after, it was pretty hard for Sweden. In order, they scored Here we go. Getting ready? We press play. Go. Glenn Westlake, Adam Dixon, Brad Bowden. Another one from Glenn Westlake, Adam Dixon. Hat-trick, Glenn Westlake, third goal of the game, fifth of the tournament. Then after, Marc Dorion, and Marc Dorion, second, third, and fourth goal of this tournament, which is a hat-trick for him. So final score, 10-1, Canada. Let's have a look at the shots on goal also for this game. Canada won this board actually, 32-3 against Sweden. Also, let's have a look at what will happen here at the UBC Thunderbird Arena in the next few days. Tomorrow it will be off here at UBC. No games here for this Paralympic tournament, but most of the teams will be back on the ice to get ready for their next game, which will be presented here on Tuesday, March 16th. Alors demain, comme je vous le mentionnais, ici demain ce sera calme, très calme ici au UBC Thunderbird Arena. Il n'y aura pas de matchs qui sont prévus ici au calendrier. C'est donc dire que les équipes vont donc s'entraîner pour leur prochain match qui aura lieu mardi. Et on regarde ensemble l'horaire pour la journée de mardi à 10h en matinée. Match préliminaire du groupe A, match numéro 9 du tournoi. L'équipe de la République tchèque qui va affronter l'équipe de la Corée du Sud. À 13h30, groupe B, match numéro 10, Italie qui va affronter la Suède. À 17h, groupe A, match numéro 11, les États-Unis qui vont affronter l'équipe du Japon. Et l'équipe du Canada qui sera de retour sur la glace également mardi à 20h30, groupe B. Match numéro 12, le Canada qui va affronter l'équipe de la Norvège. So the schedule for Tuesday's games will be like that here at 10 a.m. Group A, game number 9 of the tournament. Czech Republic will face Korea. At 1:30 p.m., Group B, game number 10, Italy and Sweden. At 5 p.m., round-robin round. It will be Group A, game 11. USA will face Japan, and also Team Canada later on Tuesday will be back on the ice. Team Canada will face Team Norway at 8:30 for the B group, so Group B in the 12th game of the tournament. And also maybe let's have a look at what happened today here at the Paralympic Winter Games here in Vancouver on Sunday, March 14th. So Canada won 3 medals today. So we're going to name those medals. We're going to have a look at this because at the medal count, the Russian Federation is still leading with 10 medals. That's their total at the moment, with 4 golds, 4 silver, and 2 bronze. Ukraine has the second place at the moment with 6 medals, 2 golds, 1 silver, and 2 bronze. Austria will be third with 2 golds and 1 bronze with 3 medals. And who's on the fourth place? Yeah, Canada is there with 3 silver medals. So we are still waiting actually for our first goal. It will come, as you know. But first of all, let's have a look at what happened today in Whistler with our Canadians. So the first medal was won by Colette Bourgogne. Colette Bourgogne won the silver in the women's sitting 10 kilometers cross-country skiing. Colette is a 40 years old teacher from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, and she began skiing in 1991. We also won a medal, the second medal of the tournament, Viviane Forêt, who got the silver in the visually impaired women's slalom. And also Josh Duke, silver in men's sitting slalom. Let's also name Chris Williamson, who finished 6th in the men's visually impaired slalom. Alors voilà, bonne nouvelle aujourd'hui pour l'équipe canadienne qui a remporté 3 médailles aujourd'hui aux Jeux paralympiques d'hiver ici à Vancouver. Je vous mentionne également au passage cette médaille d'argent pour Colette Bourgogne qui a remporté l'argent dans la catégorie, du moins dans la compétition de ski de fond, le 10 km assis. Elle est âgée de 48 ans. Viviane Forêt également de la province de Québec, silver, donc l'argent pour elle dans le slalom féminin pour aveugles. Et la troisième personne qui a remporté une médaille également aujourd'hui, Josh Duke, qui récolte l'argent dans la catégorie du slalom masculin dans la version assise. We also invite you to keep your radio, so your little puck radio, your green machine. That's the way we call it here at the UBC Thunderbird Arena. Hello especially to the people also watching us, but also listening to us on ParalympicSport.tv, yeah. And also for the people here at the UBC Thunderbird Arena, you keep your radio after the game, and when you go to the Vancouver Paralympic Center, you get to tune into Hack Radio. So you take your radio there to watch a wheelchair curling and listen to our expert commentary for all the wheelchair curling session. L'invitation est également lancée au Centre paralympique de Vancouver. Donc après la rencontre d'aujourd'hui, pour les gens qui nous syntonisent ici à l'intérieur du UBC Thunderbird Arena, vous conservez vos radios et vous les apportez lorsque vous irez visiter le Centre paralympique pour écouter nos collègues et amis de Hack Radio. Donc, vous pouvez apporter votre radio là-bas pour syntoniser Hack Radio pour avoir tous les détails sur cette épreuve de curling en fauteuil roulant. Événement fort attendu également pendant les Jeux paralympiques de Vancouver. We also just got some results from tonight's round-robin session 4 at the wheelchair curling just entered. So Italy won against Sweden 9-1. Germany result also won against Japan 12-4. And also we have this result between Great Britain and Switzerland. Win for Great Britain 10-2. So for Team Canada, we'll be back also on the ice there at the Vancouver Paralympic Center tomorrow 12:30 for the round-robin session 5 of the wheelchair curling. And Canada will be facing Japan. Here, Japan is back on the ice. And who's also back on the microphone? Rob and Rick.
We are. Nice segue, Louis. And we're waiting for the El Abou for
yeah.
the next goal. We've had our French lessons, and now we're just waiting for the goal. And whether we get one or not, we'll wait and see. It's 3-0 for Japan over Korea. And a game that has been feisty, to say the least. These teams clearly have long cultural memories. Puck back in the Korean zone as we begin third period action. And a mad scramble with 4 players. Let's see who comes up with it. Again, Korea in blue. Japan, the team in white, scored all their goals in the first period. In fact, came in the first 8 minutes of that first period.
Japan has had a territorial edge over Korea, but 2 of those 3 goals, as far as I'm concerned, were weak goals. It should be a closer game. I think Korea has played very well.
We've been seeing that, Rick, with several of the underdog teams, the teams that in fact have lost. They have been very close at times, and we've got a penalty coming here. Our first penalty of the third period took 55 seconds. It's going to be a holding penalty. Still not sure who it's against. Korea.
Yeah.
And it looks like Min Soo-han, I believe, heading to the box, or is it Park? It may well be Park, yes, Sang-Hyeon Park. His ice sledge team is called the Red Bulls, 36 years old for Korea, and he'll sit in the penalty box. Endo for Japan with a launching shot right on net. Save made by Chung, and he'll hold on.
They're trying to fire it high. After scoring on that first goal, they're firing a lot of these pucks high, trying to get it in over his head up in the top corner. You see that a lot in sledge hockey. It's so difficult for the goalies sitting down on their sledge to handle some of those high shots, especially when you're only 10 to 20 feet out and they're like bullets. There's no way they can get their arms up.
In this case, he just kind of watched it into his glove, but Korea able to relieve some pressure and send it down the ice with Park in the penalty box. Jung and Cho for Korea doing a decent job keeping it in, but now Endo will carry to center. His pass finds Takahashi. He doesn't shoot, but his team will control now. They are on the power play. Takahashi waiting, holding, looking. Into the corner it goes for Uehara. Daisuke Uehara for Endo. Doesn't like what he sees, so he'll turn back, gives to Uehara, and now Endo again. Back to Uehara. It looked like the Korean player Min Soo-han knew it was coming, but he just couldn't stop it. Now Korea able to push it out to center. Takahashi, cross ice for Sudo. He's run into the puck grabbed by Yoshikawa.
Better known as Yossi to his friends.
I don't think he has any on the Japanese team right now. This has been a pretty feisty affair. Here's a chance for Sudo with a shot, and no chance. This was getting past Chung. He blocks it as he tumbles over.
Well, he shot it right at him. I think it even surprised Chung. He had a hard time recovering the rebound. He was ready to raise his arms and grab it with his glove or the blocker, and he got it right in the midsection. Bounced right out.
Especially if he shoots it at him, there's definitely no chance it's going to get by him.
No, boom, and it surprised him and bounced right out, and he controlled the rebound pretty good.
Again, Japan with a shot right off the face-off. That went over top of the net. Japanese power play, now under 10 seconds to go. Uehara for Takahashi. With a shot tipped and they score! Was this a high stick? I don't think so. It's 4-0 Japan. Yoshikawa with a deft touch on it, and they're going to go collect that puck too.
I don't know what that's about. We might have to send Louis down to find out why they're collecting all these pucks.
Maybe they're short of pucks. I don't know.
They want to put them on eBay. Maybe, huh?
Here's the tip right here. Oh, off the shoulder. Well, nothing he could do about that. Nothing Chung could do.
Yoshikawa's second goal of the game comes at the 2:52 mark of the third period.
Yoshikawa, one of 5 players that on this Japan team that have played together since the Nagano Olympics, Paralympics, back in '98. Played in '02 in Salt Lake City, '06 in Torino. Many world championships. A seasoned veteran.
Definitely. And we've got review of the goal, and it is a goal as called by referee Jonathan Morrison. Whether there was any doubt, I'm not sure.
I was making a joke about eBay, but you know what Vancouver 2010, the Vanak did, you know, with the pucks that were used in the hockey tournament? Some of them are on eBay at the moment. Some pucks that were actually used in most of the games, and also there are some pucks that were used in the final game between USA and Canada. And do you know how much at the moment some are being sold? $3,000 on eBay. This is the official Vanak auction.
How do you know they're the real pucks?
There's a signature, and there's a it's officialized by Vanak.
Certificate.
Yep. By Vanak.
Certificate.
Just,
yep.
Just not somebody selling a puck.
No.
Oh, I see.
It's 4-0 for Japan. And this looks like it will be a march to a Japanese win. But what else will happen in the next 11 minutes and change, as this one has been aggressive to say the least, especially in the second period. Ishida right on net with a shot, save made by Chung, and he'll hold on. But how about the effort, Rick, of Young-Hoon Chung, who replaced Hyuk-Jun Choi in the first period, and he's only allowed 1 goal since.
He's done a great job. He's had a lot of pressure on him. He's been controlling the rebounds. Looks very relaxed in there.
He's done a pretty good job. So will he get the start against the USA in 2 days? That's the question.
Well, you know, a lot of these teams have a number 1 goalie, and the number 2 never gets in. We haven't seen enough of Korea to know if these guys split the games or if he's really a number 2 goalie.
And Korea works it out to center. This looks like a 2-on-1, but Endo makes a dynamite defensive play to stop it. The puck squirts in front. Lee wasn't expecting it, and that allows Japan to get it back to center. It'll be shot right back in again by Korea. And they launch themselves back in after the puck. Endo now for Japan. Has it stripped, and Sudo will bang it out to center. Another collision. This one started by Young-Min Lee. A chance in front for Japan over top of the net as Yoshikawa was looking for the hat trick. And now Japan scores on a wraparound play. And it is Takahashi, 5-0 Japan.
Well, they just keep going at Korea. They're not letting up. There's no mercy rule here, like we said. And certainly these two teams don't like each other too much. They're not going to have mercy on anybody. Again, just given too much time to come out and get a good shot off. Nobody blocking the shot, nobody taking the body.
And Rick, how important is this for the Japanese confidence? Because they've, and you've talked about it throughout the tournament, they've traditionally struggled to score goals, even though they've always been around the net, and not this time.
Well, it's huge for their confidence. They can go back, they can look at the films, they can see what worked for them. What I like, they got the tip shots in front. It proves that they're getting people in front of the net. They just came around the net and tucked it. That means they're getting the pucks down low. They're winning battles for the pucks. There's many positive things that Japan can take out of this game.
Scramble at center. Now controlled by Korea. Shot in on net. Bouncing puck. Nagase has some trouble with it. And now he's going to have to cover it with 3 Korean players near his goal crease.
Looks like he wanted to get rid of that, but he didn't know where it was. Well, now Korea can only hope for a little moral victory, try to get a goal, break the shutout. I'd be interested to see if they get the puck, if they score a la but.
I'm just waiting to see the game on Tuesday when Korea faces the Czech Republic. That could get interesting. The way this tournament works, the top 4 teams will play off and decide the medals. The bottom 4 teams will play off and decide the classifications, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And sometimes those games are as fiercely contested as the medal games.
Because very often it's the top 6 teams, if they stay with the same format, that move on, and then the bottom 2 are going to qualifying with other countries. Is that true? For, say, the world
not this
the next
time.
World Championships?
I don't think this time. I think it's the top 4 will play off, and they'll cross over. So the number 1 team from Pool A will play the number 2 team from Pool B, and vice versa. And then the bottom 4 teams will also play off in the same manner to decide 5, 6, 7, and 8. I don't know, Rick, if it has future ramifications on World Championships.
I'm just saying, if the ones that end up in 7 and 8, will they need to qualify for the next major tournament? Or do all these 8 teams get in? We really don't know.
That's a good question. Another research assignment for you between now and Tuesday, Rick.
Oh, you know how much I love those.
And another big hit thrown by Ishida. The puck is in the Japanese zone. Daisuke Uehara makes a nice play to just fire it out to center. And this is a break for Endo, who does well to get to the puck. Sharp angle shot over top and wide of the net. They battle for it in the boards. 2 number 55s. Jang for Korea. Takahashi for Japan. Korea wins this battle and gets it to center. And an offside call against Japan as they try to bring it right back in again.
If some people are listening to our puck radio here with 8:45 to do in this game, you can still text us your questions on the 604-404 puck. And actually, we're Having a look on eBay a few seconds ago, and our colleague here, Talia, she found a Vancouver 2010 torch bearer,
A torch.
torch,
I don't think
and
they're
also the
selling them.
uniform from Tunch, yeah, exactly, on eBay for $13,000
Wow.
if you want some.
Whose uniform?
A torch bearer, someone who was holding the torch during the
Oh, a torch
relay.
bearer.
So they're not selling the torch bearer, they're selling
No,
the torch.
the uniform.
I was trying to figure
And
out
the
what,
uniform.
The uniform, wow.
what team
Here
he
we
played
go.
for.
Well, you know what? It's a life experience, and I wonder if the person who sells that will regret that one day, because
Yeah.
you know what? You only have that chance probably once in your lifetime.
And I have those average ages of the teams,
Yes.
so I don't forget. In the next break, I'll let you know what they are.
And maybe another chance developing for Japan, but getting back in a hurry is Lee for Korea. Now Cho, a giveaway, Sudo for Japan. And again, buzzing in is Ito with a shot, save on the blocker side by Chung. Another shot that went wide. Korean fans just trying to stimulate their team, and a goal, I think, Rick, is all they really would realistically
they would be
want.
thrilled with a goal. Well, here we go. All the average ages are in their 30s except for one team, and I think you can probably guess whose team that is.
USA.
The USA.
Of course.
The youngest team at an average age of 23. Then you have Canada at 30. You have the Czech Republic and Sweden at 32. Sweden may be a little surprised, but they have all those new young guys. Then you have Norway and Korea at 34. You have Italy and Japan at 37. And they're the grandfathers of this tournament, Italy and Japan, at an average age of
Great.
37.
Great. I think it was for Mary who
Yeah.
texted us earlier.
Puck is in behind the Japanese net. Ishida will push it ahead. And now a chance for Takahashi. He had it knocked away off his stick. Young-Jae Cho. Korea trying to clear it out of their own end. Hae-Man Lee. And now Sudo with a shot that just went wide of the net. Ishida gains control for Japan. And Lee for Korea. Hard-fought game between Japan and Korea here in the Paralympic sledge hockey tournament in Vancouver. Pool A action. And a whistle.
Number 55, Yaguchi, Atsuya Yaguchi is out there. We haven't heard his name much tonight. He's also one of the 5 players that have been with this team since the Nagano Paralympics back in '98. Yaguchi, the goalie Nagase, Misawa, Ishida, and Yoshikawa all have been together that long. It's a great nucleus. They've been knocking on the door, never finished higher than 4th, have never medaled, and they would love nothing better than to get into at least the bronze medal game and have a shot at a medal here.
Face-off is in the Japanese zone. And it's a scramble for it underneath a couple of players. Japan comes up with it, and Annaka to the line, not out, but on the second effort, Ito gets it past the blue line and shoveled right back in again. Ishida runs into his own man, Misawa. Korea trying to clear it. Still kept in by Japan. Under 6 minutes to play, third period. It was 3-0 after the first. It was still 3-0 after the second. Japan scored 2 here in the third and looking for more. This one stays out somehow.
That hit Annaka right in the back. Number 27.
And Japan still manages to keep it in at the blue line. Good play by Misawa. pushing and shoving along the boards. The puck is underneath the sleds. Now it's worked free and hustling after it. Jong-Kyung Lee. And he is run into, and that's going to cause another penalty for Naohiko Ishida. And another big hit is thrown. Will we get more than one penalty? We have a whistle. It is a teeing call. It's going to be against Japan. And let me just take a moment, guys, to welcome Kim Liu and members of the International Paralympic Committee listening in. We certainly appreciate having them in our listening audience. And it's been a very spirited game here on day 3 of the Paralympic Winter Games, day 2 of the sledge hockey tournament.
Endo was lying on his back there for a good 30 seconds.
Probably just catching his
sure.
breath.
Oh, he got hit pretty good there. No call on the play.
Should there have been one? I think that's what the Japanese coach.
Well, it looked like he got the fist out.
That's probably what Kojin Nakakita is arguing.
Upwards of the neck and the head.
Instead, it's Korea going to the power play. Looking to break the ice. Trailing 5-0. Face off in the Japanese zone. Endo gets to it. He's recovered well enough to ship the puck down the ice. And racing after it is Daisuke Uehara. Park for Korea around the boards. Cho trying to make something happen to at least get it out. And now Cho on a long pass. That finds Lee. He redirects it ahead. Jung after it. But Endo will get to it for Japan. And he'll have a chance to clear it. He'll get it to center ice, or at least to the center ice area where it's shot right back in by Korea. Sent down the ice by Japan. Of course, no icing, no whistle, because Japan has a man in the penalty box for just over a minute. Ishida. Uehara now for Team Japan. Taken away from him by Lee. And again, it is shot down the ice by Japan. Back to get it is Young-Min Lee, the 35-year-old from Gangwon Province. He can't clear it. Here's Endo. He's got a little bit of room. The pass comes for Daisuke Uehara.
Another one of those breakout passes that I've been talking about since the beginning of the game. That's something that Korea can work on.
Under 3.5 minutes to go. Korea, instead of getting an offensive chance on this power play, charged with an icing instead.
It's all about puck possession. You hand the puck to the opposition, whether you're on the power play, on the penalty kill, 5-on-5. It's something you don't want to do. They track giveaways in the NHL. They try to cut them down. They try to work with players that give up the puck too much for one reason or the other. It just makes sense.
It does. It really does. If you don't have the puck, pretty good chance that you're not going to score.
Good point.
And I've forgotten the Elabu, haven't I? Yeah, you're right.
Maybe tomorrow or the day after.
There's a chance for Ito. He was all around the Korean net.
I will have another question for you guys in a few minutes at the next break.
Okay. Korea trying to make something happen offensively. Just over 3 minutes to play. 5-0 the lead for Japan. And the teams are now back to even strength.
So yeah, there's someone asking, are there, and that's a pretty good question actually, are there any sledge hockey players that suffer from more than one disability, like being hearing impaired? Do you have an idea about this?
I'm trying to think if I know anyone.
I'm not sure. I mean, there are players in the National Hockey League who have hearing impairments. Steve Downey for the Tampa Bay Lightning is he in Philadelphia now? I can't remember where. I think he's in Tampa, I think. and he is he's a player who has very limited hearing, so that could be. It wouldn't change very much about it other than their communication with their teammates. Japan slams the puck around the boards, down the ice, with now 2:41 remaining. But there are players with multiple disabilities. They may have something with a hand, Louis, or as well as a lower limb disability, but they've got to have at least a minimum lower limb disability.
Okay. He's in Tampa Bay, by the way.
Okay.
Steve Down.
He's in Tampa?
Yep. He played until 2009, actually, in Philadelphia. And maybe quickly, if we have a few seconds, what was the longest sledge hockey or regular hockey game ever played?
Good question. Sa throws it in front of the Japanese net for Korea. Endo able to clear it. Under 2.5 minutes to play. Japan continues to send players out to center to get to pucks. Ito and Annaka. Ito upended. And a big hit, and this is going to be an elbowing penalty, I'm quite sure, against Mikio Annaka. And he's directing the player to the box, is referee Morrison. He hasn't made the call. He's going to call it hitting from behind. And it's a 2-minute penalty plus a 10-minute penalty. That's the signal from the referee.
Plus a 10-minute. I wonder what that's for.
I think it's just it's an automatic. Hitting from behind in international hockey
automatic.
Comes with an automatic 10-minute misconduct. Now in minor hockey, Rick, I'm sure it's like this in parts of the States as well. It comes with an automatic game misconduct.
Right.
So I guess that's a little bit, if it wasn't in the third period, that would be a little bit better.
Maybe a short answer for the question about the longest hockey game ever played.
Let me think about that.
I have the answer for the NHL, actually. I found a list.
For the NHL.
I found a list of the 20 longest National Hockey League overtime games, and the longest one, I don't know if you remember this one. It was between the Detroit Red Wings and the Montreal Maroons on March 24, 1936.
Well, you're not looking at me when you said that, did you?
No. I was looking in the crowd somewhere, whatever.
Yeah.
No, it was in the sixth overtime, 116 minutes and 30 seconds. And Detroit won the game 1-0.
Well, I
yeah.
guarantee you no sledge hockey game has ever gone that far, because the furthest it could go is a full overtime period and then to a shootout.
Yep.
And so you could have maybe lots of shooters in the shootout, but that's as far as you're going to go.
Well, the bronze medal game in 2002 between Sweden and Canada, I know, went into a sudden death shootout. And there was 5 shooters in those days, not 3. So it went to at least a 6-shooter.
And Sweden won that one.
Sweden won it, I believe, on the first shooter in the sudden death. So each team had 6 each.
Just over 1.5 minutes remain in the third period. Jung for Korea, the cross ice pass, the shot over top of the net by Cho.
That was close.
And again, we have 2 players in a collision, and taking his time to get off is Min-Soo Han as he gets off of Ito. Han's got to go collect his tools of the trade. And back to collect the puck is Young-Min Lee. And he is run into by Endo, the captain of Japan, whose team will win the game. They've got less than a minute to watch the clock. Endo races after the puck, as he is wont to do, gets a hold of it, stick handles in, the backhand shot, the rebound is loose, and not anymore. It's covered up by Young-Hoon Chung.
I'm surprised Endo didn't get a penalty there. He didn't even look at that puck when he went running into the corner.
The referees probably want to get this one over too.
Yeah, forget about it. We don't need any more penalties.
Again, a reminder, these 2 teams will both get the day off tomorrow, as will all 8 of the sledge hockey teams. And on Tuesday, Korea plays in the first game of the day at 10 a.m. against the Czech Republic. Maybe still some tickets left for that. Japan will then play at 5 o'clock. In between those 2, Japan will play the U.S., I should mention that. That's a big game. In between, we'll have the Italy-Sweden game, and then the final game on Tuesday's slate will be Team Canada, the host nation, against Norway. And that's going to be a real good day of hockey altogether.
Well, both those games, USA, Japan, and Canada, Norway, are for the #1 seed in each pool, the A pool and the B pool, with USA 6 points, Japan 6 points in the A pool, Canada 6 points, and Norway 5 points in the B pool.
Japan will go in with all kinds of confidence after this win. Question is, will it be a shutout or not? And here come Korea to try to change that. Racing after it, but it's an icing call, as there was just no way Sung-Keun Sa could catch up to it. He did his best to try.
They're going to play this one right to the end, 15 seconds to go.
Well, if the Japanese team has been keeping every puck since they've scored, I can only wonder what Korea would do. They might take the net home with them. 15.1 seconds remaining. The face-off in the Korean end. Japan wins at the shot, and again it comes to center. And again it's a race for it. But getting back was Ishida. He'll take it right in behind his net and then launch it out to center. That does it. Japan overwhelms Korea. 5-0 is the final score here in the final game of day number 2 of the sledge hockey tournament.
Well, I was very impressed with the Korean team. As I said, they just really didn't have enough to score a lot of goals. They didn't score any. They did have chances. It wasn't like they didn't have any chances against Japan. Unfortunately, their breakouts, there are too many giveaways in their own end. But for a team that just got there, very impressive, very impressive. And they're going to be, in another 2 years to 4 years, they're going to be right up there contending with some of the top teams, and especially Japan, Sweden.
I'm just watching Kazuhiro Takahashi, number 55 for Japan. He's so excited. I thought he was going to knock over one of his teammates in the post-game celebration. The final shots on goal in the third period, 10-3 in favor of Japan. The final shots through 3 periods, 25 for Japan, 11 for Korea. Good hockey game, Louis.
Great.
Lots of fun.
And looking forward also to work with you on Tuesday. We'll be talking about this game, those 4 games coming up actually on Tuesday in a few moments. But first, let's come back. Let's be back on this sledge hockey game at UBC Thunderbird Arena tonight. Japan over Korea. So the first goal of the game was scored by Daisuke Uehara, 1-0 Japan at 4 minutes 46 seconds of the first period. Japan scored a second goal in the first period, Mamoru Yoshikawa, 2-0 Japan. A few moments later, Takayuki Endo scored his second goal of the tournament, 3-0 Japan. After the first period, Japan was leading also on the shot board, 9-5. No goal in the second period, so we have to go in the third period to see another goal. Yoshikawa gets his second goal of the game, second goal also of the tournament, 4-0 Japan, and before the end, Kazuhiro Takahashi scores his first goal of the tournament. It was 5-0 Japan over Korea, which was also the final score. Final result also on the score on the shots on goal, 25-11 for Japan. Le pointage final ici au Thunderbird UBC Arena. Le Japon qui l'emporte par la marque de 5-0 contre l'équipe de la Corée. Et il y a plus à venir également ici au UBC Thunderbird Arena au cours des prochaines journées. Demain lundi, ce sera congé pour toutes les formations. Elles seront quand même sur la glace pour s'entraîner, se chauffer pour leur match suivant qui aura lieu mardi. And also let's have a look to Tuesday's games here at the UBC Thunderbird Arena. The first game on Tuesday at 10 a.m. Group A game number 9. Czech Republic will face Korea. 1:30 p.m. Italy will face Sweden. At 5 p.m. Group A game 11. USA will face Japan. And at 8:30 Group B game number 12. Norway will face Team Canada. Beaucoup d'actions également mardi ici au UBC Thunderbird Arena. Nous espérons d'ailleurs que vous serez avec nous via Puck Radio. D'ailleurs, l'équipe canadienne qui reprendra place sur la patinoire pour tenter de conserver sa fiche immaculée d'aucune défaite et 2 victoires. Alors, l'équipe du Canada qui va affronter l'équipe de la Norvège. And also for the people who are with us here at the UBC Thunderbird Arena, you can tune into Hack Radio when you will visit the Vancouver Paralympic Center. So you take your radio to watch the wheelchair curling and listen to our expert commentary for all the wheelchair curling sessions. Bien entendu, beaucoup plus sur nos ondes. N'oubliez pas que lors de votre prochaine visite aux rencontres de curling en fauteuil roulant, syntonisez nos collègues et amis de Hack Radio au Centre paralympique de Vancouver. Donc, conservez votre radio que vous avez eue ici au UBC Thunderbird Arena. Là-bas, vous allez pouvoir écouter nos collègues et nos experts commander toutes les séances de cette discipline. Let me remind you this final score here at UBC tonight. Japan won the game 5-0 over Korea. On behalf of myself, Louis Simon Lapointe, Rob Snook, and Rick Middleton, thanks for being with us tonight. Have a great night and see you later at UBC Thunderbird Arena. À mon nom personnel, Louis Simon Lapointe, Rob Snook et Rick Middleton. Merci beaucoup d'avoir été avec nous ce soir. Passez une excellente fin de soirée et au plaisir de vous revoir ici à Vancouver dans le cadre des Jeux paralympiques d'hiver de 2010 à Vancouver.
This is the IBC Distribution Center, Channel 3, International Stereo Sound for Television, right? This is the IBC Distribution Center, Channel 3, International Stereo Sound for Television, right? This is the IBC Distribution Center, Channel 3, International Stereo Sound for Television, right channel. This is the IBC Distribution Center, Channel 3, International Stereo Sound for Television, right channel. This is the IBC Distribution Center, Channel 3, International Stereo Sound for Television, right channel. This is the IBC Distribution Center, Channel 3, International Stereo Sound for Television, right channel. This is the IBC Distribution Center, Channel 3, International Stereo Sound for Television, right channel. This is the IBC Distribution Centre. Channel 3. International Stereo Sound for Television. Left channel. This is the IBC Distribution Centre. Channel 3. International Stereo Sound for Television. Left channel.